And on this episode of The Worst Marketing of All Time, we have this from Screen Rant. Director reveals some bad news for sequel to Transformers 1. Quote, Paramount Animation is not interested in making a sequel. Now, when I first saw the trailer for Transformers 1, my takeaway was that it's an extremely childish movie, crammed to the gills with jokes. It's just going to be nothing but joke after joke after joke. But one day I decided to watch this movie. It was exactly what I expected it to be. The first half of this movie was joke after joke after joke. It was a star-studded cast that honestly I don't think any of them were actually worth the money they paid to get these people in this movie. Is Chris Hemsworth a star still? He's a name, don't get me wrong, but when was the last time a movie that wasn't Thor related had Chris Hemsworth in it and you ran to the theaters? Not ran to Netflix to watch Extraction 2 or 3. I have no idea how many they made of those, but when was the last time you saw Chris Hemsworth is going to headline a movie and you ran to the theaters to see it? Or Scarlett Johansson. Yeah, I know Jurassic Park is doing phenomenally right now, but is it because it's Scarlett Johansson? Or is it because it's the IP of Jurassic Park? Keegan Michael Peele, or one of those guys, the bald one. He plays Bumblebee. Every single second he's on screen, it's one joke after another. What was it? Megatron is played by, I forgot his name, either Lemon or Tangerine from Bullet Train. He was also in The Eternals. Not a bad actor. I think he's pretty great. Did a pretty great job Megatron, but could you have gotten like 5 people off the streets just to voice act these roles? But moving on, back to the plot though. The first half of this movie, like I said, was nothing but jokes, nothing but poor comedy, and then right almost at the exact halfway point of the movie, it becomes serious. It becomes action-packed. It becomes every single solitary thing that a Transformers fan wants in their movie. Sure, it did have, comedy here and there, but it almost felt like the first and second half were written by 2 totally different people. Also, John Hamm was in it. It was very weird. It's like, oh, you just had money to waste. They wasted probably most of their budget on these voice actors. And what it should have went to was the actual story. But the biggest problem of this movie, the biggest sin of it, was that the trailer, all it did was show the jokes. All it did was show the negatives. When realistically, all you had to do was show the second half of the movie. The revenge story. Okay, I'm not going to go into a lot of details with it because I don't want to spoil it for you. I highly recommend this movie. I did not see it in theaters. I thought it looked like absolute garbage. I'm telling you, when I watched it at home, first half, garbage movie. Second half, glued to my screen. Like, no. This is everything I could have possibly hoped for. Megatron's story here, absolutely awesome. Yes, you could probably predict how the movie goes because obviously it's the first, prequel of everything of how Megatron and Optimus Prime got to where they're at, so we know one of them is not going to die in the end. But damn it was close. If I didn't know there was a chance there was going to be more Transformers movies after this, I would have thought one of these dudes was going to die when that scene happened. It is a very hard movie. Like I said, highly recommend it. But the biggest problem, and everyone that saw this movie told me the exact same thing, the trailer does not perfectly explain this movie. And I don't know why Hollywood decides now that everything needs to be a comedy. I said this before in a previous video. I think Guardians of the Galaxy might be one of the biggest movies that has ever changed the scope of Hollywood. Because after that movie came out, and Guardians of the Galaxy is probably top 5 Marvel movie for me. It's an absolutely fantastic movie. It's even great for non-Marvel fans because you don't have to do any research whatsoever. But after that movie came out, everything had comedy in it. And this was actually good comedy when James Gunn was able to write good comedy. But now it's just joke after joke after joke in everything he does right now, which is why obviously some of the things he's doing right now really aren't going that well. But yeah, after Guardians of the Galaxy came out, everything had jokes in it, and Transformers 1 was certainly not immune to that. Bumblebee, one of the coolest characters in the Michael Bay wasn't a trilogy, but we're way past that. We're like on what, 6 movies and a Bumblebee solo movie? Yeah. He was one of the coolest characters. Now, Keegan Michael Peel, whatever his name is, he is just a joke machine every single second of the time, but they don't land ever. Chris Hemsworth, he does a pretty good job, but the dude that plays Megatron, he might be worth the money. There was a lot of emotion with that character. Scarlett Johansson, she was just there. She was just collecting the paycheck. And you know what the crazy thing is? I saw the other day that she is now the highest grossing actress of all time. I gotta make a video about this. She's been a bus rider for like 90% of her movies. There aren't really many movies out there that she was actually the de facto star. Let alone the de facto star where the movies made money. So her and Zoe Sandusky, whatever her name is, the Avatar chick, yeah, biggest bus riders in Hollywood. So yeah, she collected a pretty penny for this movie. It didn't make any money whatsoever. Paramount has hit the kibosh button on this thing. They ain't making any more of them. However, as someone that saw that movie, and I was just blown away by the second half of how utterly brutal and deep and hardcore that movie was, I really found myself hoping they would have made a second one. Sitting there hoping they would have said, okay, I know it lost money, but here are the takeaways. If you do this for the sequel and movies going forward, you're gonna win. But Paramount right now, Paramount Plus, Paramount whatever, they have lost so much money. One of the funny things, I don't know exactly how true this is, okay? Because I know Stephen Colbert's show got canceled. When it happened, all the comment section that I went on, or all the posts that were posting about it, they all said they're canceling their Paramount Plus subscription. Paramount Plus doesn't have any subscribers anymore. It is a dying subscription service at this point. They are hemorrhaging money. So yeah, I don't blame Paramount right now for saying, yeah, Transformers 1 didn't make any money at all. We lost money. Big disappointment. We might as well just stop making this entirely. I sadly get that. However, a part of me just wishes they just would do a sequel. But this time, do it right. Let me know what you guys think about that.